We are live streaming on YouTube. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Friday 12 o'clock show with the Crypto Lark. Today, of course, we're talking about all kinds of fun things crypto related, looking back on the past, thinking about hodling, looking at some ICOs, theorizing a bit about Bitcoin, and of course, answering your questions. Welcome, everybody to the chat. Now, just to start off with today, just some updates on the channel. Of course, we are streaming 2 times a week, Friday at 12 o'clock, Monday at 4. Those are all local New Zealand times if you want to jump into the show and ask some questions and participate in the fun. Now, today we're going to be interviewing Justin Tab from Substratum just after the live stream, so that will be coming up very soon. Of course, this week we got to interview Ray Youssef from Paxful. If you guys haven't seen that interview yet, that is one of the coolest interviews I've done. They're doing some amazing things with cryptocurrencies in Africa. It's out of control. Absolutely cool stuff. So definitely you got to check out that interview if you want to realize the actual potential of what Bitcoin can do to liberate people from the banking system and the controls on money. You got to watch that interview. It's really, really cool. Now, we are also just some updates on some other interviews we got coming up here. Colin Cantrell from Nexus. Next week, we're going to be interviewing the guys from Aventus as well. Now, this week, we were supposed to have interviewed David Martin from Power Ledger. He was in Hyderabad, couldn't get to good internet, so he wasn't able to make it, unfortunately. But we have rescheduled, so hopefully we'll be seeing that happening next week. So Brad Kunkel, we have to convince the Crypto Lark to review Smart Cash. It is on my short list here. It's on my short list, so don't worry. It's coming. It's coming. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time, man. But I like what Smart Cash looks like, so we definitely got to get in there and do a proper review on it. So it is coming. Okay. Let's go ahead and answer a couple questions here. Then we're going to jump in and talk about what you see on the screen, because that's some interesting stuff. Where do you buy your Bitcoin from? I find that Australian exchanges are overpriced, so how does one get Bitcoin safely from exchanges? Coinbase phishing scams being emailed to people using their correct details. Well, that is, look, 2 questions there. One, how to buy Bitcoin. How to buy Bitcoin is a tricky proposition, and there are a lot of different ways to do it. I mine, most mine these days, to be honest. But if you want to actually go and buy it, CoinSpot in Australia, probably the way to go. Coinbase for most of you guys. Here in New Zealand, you know, we have Cryptopia, if that's what you want to do. Local Bitcoins is actually a really, really good place to buy it as well. So definitely something to watch out for there. Now, phishing scams. Holy cow, guys. Please be careful out there. There are so many phishing scams when it comes to cryptocurrencies. If you've been on my Ether wallet in the last couple of days, they now have this little click-through thing where they read and say, "We're not your bank. Be responsible for your own money. Be responsible for your own funds. Don't give out your private key to anybody." All that stuff. So you got to be careful out there, guys. This is, you know, money 101. I mean, I've been receiving PayPal phishing emails for as long as I've had PayPal, and it doesn't stop. You will continue to receive phishing scams. You got to be important. Be careful. Sorry. Average Joe asks, Aloha, Lark, NEM is super disappointing. Why no pump after the private catapult upgrade? Who knows? Who knows? Look, this is the thing. You have to be patient with your cryptos, guys. I know everybody wants, and that's one of the reasons why I've got this screen up here. We're going to talk about it in just a second. You've got to be patient. Everybody, you look around the space and, you know, say you've invested $1,000 in them, $100 in them, whatever, and you're sitting there going, when's my turn? When me? Litecoin holders know all about this. They spent a long time sitting on $50 while everything else was popping. But not them. Not them. Now let's look back on a year, because I really, this is so important. I want you guys to think on time scales here. I know you see these massive gains happen, And I know that things get really crazy. You see something go up 300%, 400%. You go, whoa, my God, I want to be in on that. I want to make that money. You got to be patient. PIVX says, any Australians, I suggest you look at BitRocket ATMs. All the capital cities have them. Only way I get my Bitcoin. There you go. Check that out in Australia, guys. Thank you very much for that, PIVX. You have got to be patient. It is so important. Now look, if you were a NEM investor and you bought NEM last year, you would have bought it for 1/3 of a cent. Look at this, 1/3 of a cent. That is massive profits in a year. If you had bought Bitcoin last year and simply been patient, look at the price of Bitcoin today. $10,054 currently at the time of recording. So you would have made $9,300 off each Bitcoin you had bought last year. Ethereum last year, $924. This is this week last year, $924. Ethereum today, $445. It was over $500 a couple of days ago. Slopestyle 2022 says Ethereum was 86 cents 2 years ago. Look at that. Look at that. He said, I did a post like this a few days ago. There you go. See, this is Slopestyle 2022. Thank you so much. That is just super important, guys. You have to hold. You have to hold. You have to hold. If you are into swinging the dips and the highs, that's cool. That's cool. That's your thing. I don't. Moonologist says hindsight is 2020. That is true. That is true. Hindsight is 2020. And Shyam says there might be a bear market too, and then a bull again. That is true. That is true. That is true. All this is true, guys. But if you believe in the cryptocurrencies you are buying, you just got to hold on to them. You really do. I look at like NEM, for example, and you know, it's been chilling recently. It hasn't done much. I'm a NEM holder. I got a NEM bag. I like my NEM bag. It's only at 22 cents. Now, I didn't buy mine a year ago. To be honest, I haven't really made much on NEM at all, but I'm holding on to it because I like it. Because I believe in the project, I believe in the team, and I think they've got a good future ahead of them. NEM, you guys may not know, they're basically number 2 right now for the number of ICOs launched on their blockchain. Neo's only got like 2 or 3. Ethereum Classic's only got a few different dApps. Qtum's got a couple. Qtum's coming up for sure, but there's not a lot going on the other blockchains yet. NEM is miles ahead of everybody. Kevin Stalker, harvesting is disappointing. Harvesting is disappointing. Basically, you are only making money off of staking NEM if you got in early. Krishan in the house. Crypto Numbnuts in the house. Disco Dan C. Oh my God, Pew Pew Tube. Everybody's here. This is awesome. Welcome everybody. Make sure you are smashing up that like button if you're in the house today. Now look, you can just go down this list here and you just kind of realize the potential of the market. We are slowly going mainstream in a way that hasn't happened previously in cryptocurrencies. If you look at what's going to happen in a few days when, what's that TV program? The Big Bang Theory. When they go and people see, somebody pointed this out earlier, hey, when they recorded this, it was $5,000. Now it's $10,000 for a Bitcoin. You think people aren't going to go straight over to Coinbase? Coinbase is now like the 10th most popular app in the Google Play Store. It is coming, guys. People are not letting up on Bitcoin. People are starting to realize what is going on. Seriously. Everyone's saying Big Bang is tonight, so it hasn't come out quite yet. Hasn't come out quite yet. I don't watch TV, guys. I don't know. You know, it's the only show I watch is the cryptocurrency show, and that's takes all my attention. Oh my goodness. PIVX says, Patty man, don't put 20,000 in all at once into Bitcoin. It's better to put it in increments. Amen. Because you see, that's great, PIVX. I like that. You have these flows going through it, right? If you'd bought Bitcoin at $11,000 and you put all 20 in, you'd probably be stressed out the next days. You would have seen it go down to, you know, I don't know, 9,500. Lark, did you hear what happened to Bite Size? No, Julio in the house. What happened to Bite Size, man? Is he okay? I hope he's okay. What happened to Bite Size Bitcoin, man? Everyone should have at least a little ADA. Amen. Amen. Crypto numbnuts. Oh, he got hacked. No way. No way. That sucks. That sucks, man. It's as a crypto YouTuber, you're just putting yourself out there, and it's tough. It's tough. That is tough. Mr. Harry Balsenia, he hasn't posted lately. I guess that is why. Oh, man. Yeah, it's a constant worry for any crypto YouTuber. It really is. You know, we put ourselves out there. You know, I've got as much security as possible set up, but, you know, it's never actually enough. I have a friend, he's a Russian programmer, and he was explaining to me one time, he says, Lark, the thing is, it's not a question of if but when with hacking. If a hacker really wants to get in, they'll get in, they'll find a way. It's simply the way of it. What do you recommend doing to protect yourself if you want to make videos? Well, of course, you know, you gotta have hardware wallets, and I'm sure that Bitesize would have, but I assume that his YouTube channel must have got hacked, or that's rough. That's rough. Just as much security as possible. You know, yeah, it's tricky, man. It's tricky. Hacking is scary, but that's why you got to make sure your funds are well tied up. Don't keep your private keys on your computer. Don't keep your private keys in your cloud. Have things written down on paper, kept in very safe places. Seriously, guys. Okay, we're getting a lot of questions about ADA and a lot of questions about EOS as well. Now look, these are really the two biggest, gosh, that growth on Cardano, we're going to see a correction on that, 326.42% in a week. That's huge, huge time, guys. Watch out for that correction to come back a little bit. Now we have seen this, which is the Cardano roadmap, 44 minutes away from the roadmap update. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. I would suspect we're going to see a bit of a pullback after that. But Cardano is an amazing project. If you really haven't looked into it yet, I just keep looking for those dips to add in more, but the dips are going to get smaller and smaller, you know, buy level wise over time. Gregory asks, will there be a big correction? Well, there was a big correction last time after the roadmap thing, but the pump wasn't as big and the fallback wasn't as big. Now, EOS, holy cow. This is going to be a stellar project as well. Somebody said they've gone from the EOS just upgraded from 3 seconds to 1 second transactions. That's a pretty good time, don't you think? 1 second transactions. But we've seen, you know, EOS just continuing to get that excitement, continuing to, you know, have people interested in it. I think that's really awesome. EOS is going to be one of the top projects next year. I cannot believe they're still going through their ICO. It's absolutely crazy. That being said, it's got massive potential. If you see any significant dips on EOS moving forward, get in, buy it. Buy the dip, guys. If you see a big dip on EOS or a big dip on Cardano, these are probably going to be some of next year's absolute top projects. Christopher Grossman asks, maybe a crazy question, any suggestions on the best way to take profits? I suppose, what do you exactly mean by that and best way to take profits? I mean, do you mean when should you get out? If you mean when should you get out, well, that's a personal question. You have to decide on your own levels about when you should get out. You know, I've got numbers that I'm happy with. You know, Crypto Numbnuts got numbers he's happy with. Disco Dan's got numbers he's happy with. Julio in the House got numbers he's happy with. It's all relative. I tend to hold quite long term on most of my coins. Some of my coins I have smaller limits for than the other sort of quite long hold ones. But like Cardano, long term. EOS, long term. You know, some of the other ones, smaller. Kevin Stalker, as little as possible. Just pay your rent and hodl the rest. Amen. Amen. Now, somebody asked about Sonum up there as well. Now, Sonum has been doing really well. It's a great little bag, man. I keep trying to add into that bag when I can. But Sonum is just chilling down here, well below 100 still. It's only had basically a few days when it actually popped above the top 100. But definitely massive potential. I can't believe it's still only a $40 million market cap with the development team they've got and what they are planning on doing. Shyam Lark, what do you think about gas? Not talked about a lot, but great potential. Gas does have good potential, I suppose, as an investment, especially at this point, because obviously it will be important to the network, but primarily because the supply is so low. And why is the supply low? Because it's only generated at a fixed rate every day based on the total number of NEO available. So we've seen some really big run-ups in gas. Personally, I don't, try to trade gas or anything. I've got my NEO staking. It generates gas. I'll use it at some point in the future, but other than that, not too much. Mark, welcome to the party. Just hopped on the stream. T-Both the Pro, just starting my mining rig. Is Ethereum the best option through NiceHash? If you're going to be using NiceHash, you need to go to what to mine. You need to do a lot of research before you start just throwing money into NiceHash. There is a lot of good coins out there to be mined. You got to choose the right one. Even though Ethereum profitability is pretty good at the moment, compared to what it was about a month ago or so, do your research before starting to invest or use NiceHash, please. You need to take some time, actually find out what are the best coins to mine over there. Carrie, do you see ADA going back down to 5 cents? I hope so. Fingers crossed. I haven't bought enough when it's cheap yet. We shall see. We shall see. Okay, now we had a few questions about ICOs, and I did want to, last time in the chat, we kind of got the stream fell apart on us a little bit during that. So I just want to give a little shout out to some of the different ICOs going around at the moment. Now, Universa is probably one of the more interesting ones. It's getting very little press, but they are basically, doing the thing. 20,000 transactions per second, smart contract platform, etc., etc. They've only had about $19 million invested so far, and the ICO finishes in 8 days. So it's a pretty decent investment potential, this one. It's backed by John McAfee as well. So this is one you could have a look at. Again, this is not an official endorsement of any of these projects, but, these are things to put on your radar. Come and have some research of. John Moylan, Sumpo Man says ADA are burning some tokens. I haven't heard about that. We'll have to look and see how that goes, but I haven't heard anything about that. Okay, next one. This is pretty interesting. This has just started a few hours ago. This is Bloom. This is like decentralized credit scoring. So this is a pretty interesting one. I will be doing a review on this in a couple of days coming up, but it has just started off. So this is one, again, put it on your radar. Come check it out. This should be a pretty interesting one as well. Now, this is a pretty amazing one. Plemyuk, you got in, invested in Bitclave. Apparently, Bitclave raised $25.5 million within 32 seconds. That is crazy. It's really interesting to look around the market and see there are some of these ICOs that get so much attention, they sell out like that. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Some of them sell out after a couple of days. That's pretty good. I mean, probably the ones we've seen with the absolute most excitement around them in the past few weeks have been Bitclave. QuantStamp sold out in like an hour. Red Pulse sold out in 2 hours. I guess that was a couple months ago now, but Red Pulse didn't do as well when it hit the market finally. We'll see how Bitclave does, but ETHLend was going for about 3 or 4 days, I think. Hey, stream complete. What's going on? Oh, we're back. Okay. ETH Lend was going for a couple of days there, but it sold out as well. You can already pick it up over on Ether Delta, of course. Good times as always. Stream resume, stream continue. Okay, there we go. We're up and go. You can always pick this up over on Ether Delta. It's actually going for about ICO price currently on Ether Delta. NokaJork, thank you very much for the contribution, my friend. Really, really appreciated. Really appreciated. Thank you very much. Let's close these ICO websites down because they're all giant and bloated. Spective is an interesting one that's coming up now. This is virtual reality market, but it's also really trying to do a lot of the things that basic attention token's trying to do. Really that sort of trying to get the attention of people, create that decentralized marketplace for, you know, advertising things online. This is an interesting one. Again, put it on your radar. Watch out for it when it does come up. SwissBorg. This is an investment fund. It's a very interesting project. Now, they are raising quite a bit of money, and that is one concern that is potential. Guys saying, congratulations on the 20K subs. Thank you very much, guys. It is all about you guys. This is the thing. Every single subscriber, just thank you so much. You know, hitting 20K the other day, it was just like, wow, this is an amazing journey. And you guys are all the ones that make this possible. Continuing to support the channel, sharing the information, talking to each other, creating that community. It's absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Now, SwissBorg is an interesting one. SingularityNET is another one coming up pretty soon that there's a lot of excitement around. Decentralized marketplace for AI. AI, of course, is going to be one of the big things of the future. This, again, definitely one to put on your radar. I don't think I'll end up having a chance to do a review on this one, but definitely make sure you check it out a little bit. Another one, I really like this one. I really do. I really like INS. I did a review on this last week. I think INS is really cool that they're trying to solve a really interesting problem. Are they going to be able to solve that problem? They got a lot of people with a lot of money working against them to make them not solve that problem. That being all the big supermarkets, but I think it's a really cool idea. And the interesting thing for me is that so many big brands have got behind them and are supporting them because they also want to cut out the supermarkets. It's good for business. So, very interesting stuff right there. Where's Wallace asked, do you ever think about growing a full beard? You know, I haven't. I feel like I'd look too much like my dad in that situation, but maybe one of these days. At CryptoLark, I can't find anything on Bite-Size Bitcoin being hacked. Nothing on his Twitter, YouTube website, nor new YouTube. Guess someone was lying to us. Interesting. I hope he hasn't been hacked. I hope he hasn't been hacked. There's been too much of that stuff going on recently. There has been too much of that stuff going on recently. Anthony Monorot, please put the ICOs links below. You can find them really easily. Just type in SingularityNET ICO, INS ICO. You'll find all of them. It's pretty easy. Now, the other one that is coming up is very interesting as well is Xpretty, Uber for knowledge sharing, instant access, instant answers, instant payment worldwide. Great. Great, great, great. They're doing a proof of carrying on this one. So if you are interested in getting into this one, do check out that proof of carrying model that they are doing. QuantStamp did a similar thing, basically letting people get bonuses for, you know, creating memes, creating videos, stuff like this. So this is one to, again, put your eyes on. Put your eyes on, guys. Now, Kane Dizzle was asking, Lark, where can I find out about ICOs? So there are a lot of different resources. I'm not going to open ICO alerts right now because that website's bloated as heck and will kill the stream, but there's a lot of different good ICO websites. Somebody up here, Anaboli, ICOdrops.com. You can also check ICO Alert. I've recently joined this Slack group. It's iChatCrypto, iChatCrypto.slack.com. There's a lot of good information going on in that Slack group as well, so you guys can check that out if you want to. So there's a lot of really great ways to find out about these ICOs, and there's so many ICOs going on. And of course, guys, that brings us back to the point of ICO fever, which is problematic. Dark Telly, have you looked at Bloom? Maybe the stream dropped out or something. Yeah, I was talking about Bloom a minute ago. Bloom's interesting. I like Bloom. Watch out. I'm going to be doing a review on it in the next 2 or 3 days. So now, ICO fever is a real thing, guys. And the thing is, there's a lot of amazing potential in the market right now. And there's also an absolute flood in the market right now. Somebody in the comment section earlier said trying to absorb all this is like trying to drink with a like a fire hose, you know, it's just like blah. It can be absolutely crazy, guys. There's too many ICOs, a lot of good projects, we're seeing a lot of companies come in that actually have that minimum viable product, that have really good teams behind them, and they're just all fighting for that money. Crypto Numbnuts asks Aphelion. Aphelion's an interesting project. I would like to see, you know, they're a white paper ICO, as opposed to what I've just said, where everyone's kind of coming out with their products. They're a white paper ICO. So, you know, I really hope they can pull off what they can pull off. I think it's really interesting, but it would be really nice to see, you know, that actual product. We all know that cross-chain swaps are hard. People have been working on it for a while. Do they have the magic bullet that'll pull that off? We'll see. Mark C is asking about Bankera. Bankera, I like the idea. I invested a little bit in a Bankera. You know, I've been getting actually Ethereum payouts already from Bankera, but we're just going to have to see how it goes. We're going to have to see how it goes. Hi from Toronto. Hello from New Zealand. Props, is it worthy? Props seems like an interesting project too. Again, this is one of these situations where we have like a company, big user base, coming into blockchain basically. And we've seen quite a few of these recently. Indahash is also such a company. Props is pretty similar in a sense. They've got a user base. They've got people they're going to bring on. Munchie was the same. Now Munchie's postponed their ICO. But I think there's a lot of potential for these companies that can say, yeah, we're moving to blockchain. Here's our pre-sale for our tokens. By the way, we have millions of customers already who are going to be using this. That is really interesting. So definitely, you know, these projects do offer a lot of potential, that being the ones in particular that are offered by the companies. So Brad Kunkel, say something about Smart Cash. Smart Cash, Smart Cash, Smart Cash. Brad, don't worry, man. You're going to see the review on that. It's coming one of these days soon. It's on my radar. Now, this is an interesting one from Vinny Lingham. Now, Vinny Lingham is the CEO over at Civic. I guess this is where we part ways in the philosophy. I always believed that Bitcoin is meant to be a gift to the world and everyone living in it, including poor people in Africa, where I grew up. This is in response to a guy. Bitcoin isn't for people that live on less than $2 a day. You're imagining someone with your knowledge and background that is poor. I agree with Vinny. I really do. And again, this interview I did with Ray the other day, the CEO over at Paxful, this is exactly what they're doing. They are free, you know, liberating people financially in Africa. They're out there, they're doing it, they're pushing it, you know, they're giving these tools to people, and people are going, you mean I can buy digital currency and send money across the world without having the banks, where I have capital controls and all these things? They're loving it. Entrepreneurs are eating it up. And Paxful and a few other companies, they're at the forefront of it in Africa doing this. It is for everybody. Anybody that tells you Bitcoin's not for you, or Bitcoin's not for the average man, or Bitcoin's not for the poor man, they're blowing smoke up your butt, guys. They really are. Bitcoin is for everybody. Bitcoin offers amazing potential. Kane Dizzle, thanks. How did you get into Bitcoin and crypto? Well, I've been watching the whole show for quite a time, but I really took a big leap. Basically, Steemit was really the first way I got into crypto. But I've been watching all of it for a while, and my mom kind of pushed me to actually do the YouTube channel and to get into that kind of stuff. So, Steadycoins, are you in Cardano? You bet your bottom dollar I am. Bet your bottom dollar. It's definitely one of the most promising projects coming up in the near future. Initial cheese offering. Blockchain revolution. Can't they liberate with other coins? Bitcoin is gold. Not everyone can afford gold. That's a good question, blockchain revolution. And let me tell you, Dash, for example, have been doing amazing work. Seriously. There are other solutions, not just Bitcoin. Although Bitcoin is the most accepted, the most widely used, the one that is, even with the exchange fees the way they are, and even with, say, for example, you gotta spend $5 or $10 on your transaction fee, it is still definitely cheaper. The current trouble many of these people in the third world is that they don't have a bank account to cash out. They need to be able to buy items with the cryptos, so need stores selling in cryptos. Multiman 40, this is exactly what Paxful is doing. They are giving people a way to exchange their Bitcoin for cash or Bitcoin for cash instruments. So you can buy gift cards and things like this that you can then use to buy an iPhone, for example. So there are ways around this. People are making it happen. You can get Western Union transfers and all this stuff. So there you go. There are definitely ways to make that happen. It's out there. It's possible. And for the ingenuitive entrepreneur, they're going to make it happen. Jason Sissel, where do you see request by year's end? Thank you very much for the contribution. Jason, I cannot give you a good answer on that right now because I haven't looked into request as much as I should have, so I can't give you a good answer there. But I can tell you one thing. Request is, definitely one that I am wanting to look into now. If you want to see me review Request Network, go to my Twitter. I'm doing the community coin of the week, guys. Request Network is on there. If you want to see a review of Request Network, activate the community, get over there, vote, and we'll see it happen. Salt lending to the moon. Omise go. Watch the Crypto Daily new video. Just saying. Awesome. I bet it is. I love Crypto Daily, man. There is such a cool community out here. It's really awesome. It's really awesome. The different YouTubers. There is, Crypto Daily. You guys got Crypto Spark, Bite-Sized Bitcoin, even though I guess Julian House saying he's been reaching out and saying that he's been hacked. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what happens with that. But really, a lot of really cool people in the space. And I think that the really good YouTubers in the space who are really bringing a lot of value for people, people like Crypto Daily, it's entertaining, it's fun, but it's also information. He's like the Jon Stewart right now. And I love that. That's awesome. You guys are just spoiled for choice. It's great. Crypto Bobby's decent. Yeah, there's so many people. Cryptocurrency Australia, Nugget News. I mean, again, take your pick, guys. You're spoiled for choice, and it's absolutely awesome that there are actually a really good people bringing real cool information to the place. Not just shilling stuff, not just talking about BitConnect all the time, right? So, Crypto Lark, should people dump their ADA and then buy back in later? If that is your thing, go for it. I'm personally not. I am not dumping my ADA, even though, yeah, you probably could do it, but I'm not doing that. I'm looking to buy more at the dip, but I'm not selling any of it. But that's just me. I know there's a lot of people out there that want to, you know, swing those dips. If that's your thing, man, you go for it. Good luck to you. Not my thing. Not my thing. Robert Lord asks, can you give your strategy on exchanges? Do you keep X amount on exchanges at all times with stop losses, etc.? Or do you transfer on and off? Robert, I transfer on and off. You know, I tend to keep very little on exchanges at any given time. So, yeah. This is the thing. If, for example, you know, I had set a, I don't know, stop loss on my metal, for example. Could have. Would have simply lost on it. And I'm not into doing that. You know, it's, I am holding on. I am keeping the coins that I've got because I believe in them. I don't tend to invest in things that I need to put a stop loss on, to be honest. ADA is about to dump so hard, says David. God, I hope so. I want to buy some more. It'd be awesome. ADA going to Coinbase. Oh, interesting. Saw the rumor on Twitter. Now, obviously, ADA has been listed on Binance today, which is pretty damn exciting. So we'll see, you know, if we can see some more exchanges pretty soon. Christopher Grossman. Ever since Mt. Gox loss, I keep off exchanges. Re3Doctober. Red October. Let's say Red October. Why dumping Cardano? So guys, the Cardano roadmap is coming out in about 30 minutes. Roadmap update. They do this once a month. Probably two things that are affecting the price of Cardano right now. One, well, actually three things. FOMO. People are seeing the massive rise. They want to get in. Two, just been listed on Binance. And three, the roadmap. Now, after the roadmap comes out, people will probably, the excitement will die down a little bit. Probably not as much because there's other things going on as well. Personally, I'm trying to buy ADA at a pullback. I'm not buying it right now. I'm waiting, personally. But I've already got an ADA bag. So, you know, for everyone else watching who doesn't have any yet, they're looking and going, oh my God, should I buy it now that it's up 350%? I don't know. Personally, I'm not. I'm personally going to be patient, wait, and hope for a pullback. And hey, you always run that risk. Maybe it just keeps flying to the moon. But I think because they're still so far from actually, you know, running their tech out and stuff like that, we are going to see that pullback. Now, the pullbacks are going to be smaller and smaller with ADA going forward. I don't think we're going to see that 2-cent ADA ever again. You might, but I don't think so. Jess asks, my Daedalus wallet took 1 hour to open today. WTF. Yeah, you've got to sync the blockchain every time. Now, if you leave it open or you keep it open quite a bit, then it doesn't take very long. But yeah, it's a pain. It's a pain. I hope that they make that better in the future. But we'll have to wait and see. IOTA, sleeping giant. Ashley David. Well, yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, IOTA's seen some amazing value come through recently, and for all of us IOTA enthusiasts, I mean, there were people who were buying IOTA at $1.06, $1.10 3 or 4 months ago. I hope that those people held and they didn't sell it when it got down to 40, 50 cents. I mean, I remember somebody wrote in a comment, oh, you know, 2 weeks ago, oh, it's IOTA's at 35 cents now. What's happening? Blah, 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 blah. The whole market was bleeding. It's what happens, guys. It does to an extent. IOTA, absolutely awesome project. Joey Alex, Power Ledger, Lark, do you still believe? Do I still believe? Of course I still believe. What's not to believe? This is the thing, guys. Again, it's a question of patience. It's a question of understanding the cycles of the market. Power Ledger was actually down to like 50 cents a few hours ago, or maybe it was yesterday. Don't know. It's hard to remember sometimes, but Power Ledger is an absolutely fantastic project. I think it's only going to move from strength to strength to strength. That being said, the price will not always keep blasting up and blasting up and blasting up. There will be pullbacks. Can I put ADA on a ledger? Currently you cannot. Currently you cannot. You can only have it on your desktop wallet. Bought ADA at 22 cents, made over 300%. Oh, that's gone. Any opinion on Verge? They seem to have accomplished quite a bit this month, but it's not reflected in the market as of yet, or am I mistaken? SD Bates asks. Now, that's an interesting question. You look at, for example, Verge or NEM, constant good news about these projects, but the market just doesn't care sometimes. It's really funny. It's really funny in a not kind of funny kind of way. But if you believe in Verge, and I think Verge is a pretty good project. Now look, the privacy coin space is crowded. You guys know it's crowded. It will be interesting to see if all the privacy coins survive together or if some of them don't. But, you know, the Verge Wraith protocol, I think, has come out now, so there you go. Topher Dowling, thinking of selling ADA, gonna rebuy on the dip. Now this was an interesting one I saw from Mark Cuban. Bitcoin is more of a collectible than a currency. Again, we can take it back to all the people that are actually using Bitcoin to buy things. 47% of Japanese people asked in a recent survey said that they had used Bitcoin to buy something. Medium asks, why is Bitcoin worth $10,000 while one transaction takes 45 minutes? I don't see their technical benefits compared to other coins who seem technically better than Bitcoin. Well, that's an interesting question. That's an interesting question, Medium. Bitcoin's got the name recognition. Bitcoin was first. Bitcoin's the most accepted. It gets the most interest. It has the most name recognition. And the thing is that, yes, a transaction can take a long time, and it's certainly on the more expensive side comparatively across the space of cryptocurrencies. You know, it's nice, for example, Ethereum costs like 10 cents, Litecoin costs like 10 cents or whatever to send. But the thing is you say that, but no one stopped using Bitcoin. People don't care about the transaction fees. People keep paying it. I keep paying the $3, $4, $5 for transaction fees, whatever. It's not going to stop people. And even though there will be other cryptocurrencies that come along, it will remain on top. Mark Cuban's salty because he's not in on Bitcoin. Potentially he is. Look, a lot of people are getting into Bitcoin, millionaires included. It's going places, guys, without a doubt. Do you see Litecoin going to 1,000? Asks Carrie. Carrie, it's all a question of your timeline. To see a 10x value in Litecoin, super possible. Why not? Again, it's all a question of the timeline. ETH Connect is open for business. Oh my god, really? Svetlio asks, how do you see the market cap of crypto in 1 year? Well, that's a great question. And to be honest, it's funny because Dash is, closing in on $1,000, right? And I look at that and I think, man, I'm always just way too conservative. And maybe that's good for my emotional state. I under-promise and over-deliver to myself, or at least the market over-delivers for me. But the market cap in a year Currently, we are at $300 billion. Now, if you look back a year ago about this time, we were at about $20 billion, I think, something like that. So obviously the growth has been exponential. Massive money's flooded, especially into altcoins. Obviously, lots into Bitcoin. If we are going to see a $60,000 Bitcoin next year, that'd be a 10x growth. 10x growth. A lot of people are calling that. I see a lot of people throwing around $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. John McAfee has come out and doubled down, and I think doubled the amount of Bitcoin, where he will chop off his own penis. So obviously, there's a lot of potential. If we saw that $60,000 Bitcoin, that would mean that Bitcoin alone would be worth around $1 trillion. So to see next year, for this time next year, like a $2 trillion market cap, I would not be surprised at all. Seriously. I would not be surprised at all. I could definitely see that happening. Now, maybe I'm being too conservative again. Maybe it's going to be $5 trillion next year. Who knows? Who knows? Of course, there is always that potential that a bear market's going to come and things aren't going to go up as much as you want them to be. But the potential is real. The amount of people getting involved every single day, it's crazy. McAfee is a character, man, but you know what? Anybody who talks positively about Bitcoin, I'll take it. The more people, the better. $60,000 Bitcoin. Let that sink in for a second. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Look, I saw this post from Richard Branson earlier. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You might learn something. And I feel like that in the crypto space, really, sometimes, because, no matter how much knowledge I've been able to, acquire over time, constantly just learning new stuff, finding out new things, this is a rabbit hole of unparalleled depths. So for anyone out there who just wants to, for example, say, okay, I'm just going to invest in Bitcoin, I'm jealous of you, to be honest. I love all these altcoin projects. I get super excited about the technological aspects of some of them, or what they're offering to do for the world. Things like Substratum and Nexus, for example, creating new internets, freeing people, freeing information. It's absolutely awesome. But you always got to ask questions. You always got to be hungry for knowledge, hungry to learn new things in the space, because there's, again, massive potential. Massive potential. Richie M asks, a bit off topic, as a Kiwi, what is your opinion of Kim.com? Kim.com's an interesting character. He really is. He really is. I'm glad that he hasn't been extradited to the U.S. yet, but I like him. He's an interesting guy, and he, again, he uses his platform to talk about positive things, to talk about freedom of the internet, to talk about Bitcoin. Rock and roll. Do you have enough money to invest to all ICOs? Gosh, don't we wish? Well, actually, not all ICOs. There's that, but even the ones I want to invest in, it's always the question. You have to choose your battles here, guys. And if you're choosing the right coins, the right ICOs, find projects you believe in, find projects with teams you believe in. You'll do okay. You'll do okay. Does Bilderberg really have the Bitcoin core developers working for them? Says Luke Duke. Who knows? Who knows? I haven't heard anything about that. Steadycoins, are you following any video game related cryptos? I'm not. Don't play video games, not into it. not my thing. I know Box Mining, he does quite a few reviews and talks a bit about video game related cryptos, so I would, say go check out Box Mining if that's the case, if you're into those kind of ones. I'm more interested in cryptocurrencies that affect things like voting, finance, crowdfunding, international remittances, stuff like that. The gaming ones, those are useful too, and they really have their place, and it's a good use of blockchain. But not my bag. Not my bag. Sherilyn Eller, what do you consider a good team? Qualifications? Question mark. A good team has not necessarily, we don't need to see degrees, although that's useful. That's useful. You need to see people with experience. You need to see people who have got, the ability to do blockchain, for example. If you see a project where they have 0 blockchain developers, one must worry. How are you guys going to make a blockchain project without a blockchain developer, for example? If it's an Ethereum project, it's a real benefit for them to have somebody who knows Solidity on board, for example. It depends on the project, too, how much you might need to actually, have those different people on board. If you're running a finance one, yeah, most people based on finance, a couple developers, you're probably good to go. People with public profiles on LinkedIn that list their experience, that aren't hiding everything. Sometimes people only have one job. Really, at 35 years old, have only ever had one job? That's interesting. So, Jacob P says, Eli 5, Cardano for me. Okay, so explain it like I'm 5. Cardano is going to be trying to be the new smart contracts platform, but so much more than that. They are peer reviewed, so they develop, they get their stuff, they say, okay, here's our idea, let's give it to other academics to get it peer reviewed. They come back and say, what about this? What about this? What about this? Think about these different things. They go back to work, fix all those things, and so they, through the process of peer reviews, are making, or trying to make, basically one of the soundest, most reliable, most ingenuitive projects out there, which is why it's so gosh darn exciting and presents real competition to, for example, Ethereum and, of course, the EOS. I think EOS, Cardano, and Ethereum will be the top platforms in that regard. Obviously, Ethereum's already seen most of its value come through. We are going to see EOS and Cardano moving up to Ethereum-like levels. Anything about the Naga ICO? Haven't looked into it, sorry. Cardano equals magic money backed by the science community. Big Bang Theory starts in 5 minutes. Oh no, I better let you guys go soon then. Thiago says, I heard Dash has a strange story, but watching the interview with Arcane Bear, I'm totally getting more Dash. Awesome interview, by the way. Interesting. Dash is great, guys. Seriously. It's a really cool project, and I think because they've just lowered their fees by 10 times over at Dash. It costs almost nothing to send Dash now. So, Topher Dowling, Roger Ver supports Naga ICO. I don't know if that's something they want to publicize at the moment. I'm not hating on Roger Ver, but after his meltdown the other day, I don't think that does very good for them. Cardano has their white paper update in 2 minutes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Crypto questions. Dash has marketing something 90% of crypto ignores. Amen. They are so good at this because they've got that fund. They're funded. They have like $30-40 million a year. I mean, last year, but even more in the future. They have got so much money coming in to Dash that they are able to fund themselves. They have ads on planes and stuff like this. The in-flight ads. talk about that. They're going to be one of the most recognized cryptocurrencies out there. CryptoSpark in the house. CryptoSpark, you're just joining us for the last couple minutes of the chat, man. Roland, good night. Good night, my friend. Household names. That is going to be a really important thing. And actually getting out there and getting your name in front of people and having people understand the name of your project is really important. Bitcoin, massive name recognition. That's why the guys at Bitcoin Cash are struggling and don't want to be called Bcash. Even though I think I saw Cryptopia now is calling it Bcash. Branding is super important. That is why there is this fight between Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash can be Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin can be Bitcoin, but if you look down the list, if you go to somebody and say, hey, have you heard of cryptocurrencies? What's that? Have you heard of Bitcoin? Oh, I've heard of Bitcoin. Well, have you heard of Dash? No. Have you heard of Litecoin? No. Have you heard of Ethereum? No. What about Substratum? Is that a thing on TV, or this is the reaction you'll get from a lot of people? And obviously Ethereum is probably becoming a little more household namey as well. But as time moves on, as this space continues to develop, you are going to see probably 10 or so cryptocurrencies that'll be really mainstream, and people will know the names of them. People will know Dash. People will know Litecoin. People will know these different projects. I see that PIVX has sponsored a basketball team. NEM has also sponsored a basketball team. This stuff matters. This is important stuff, man. CryptoSpark says, hit the like button. Hit the like button, Crypto Nation. Indeed. At CryptoSpark subbed, as CryptoLark told me to. Nice. Lark, you should cover the Gladius ICO. Haven't looked into it. Kevin Stalker, PIVX is a fork of Dash. There are a lot of forks of different things. Forking can be a dirty sounding word, I suppose. But forking doesn't have to be dirty. And it isn't. Actually, if you look at Dash and PIVX, for example, PIVX has really developed into its own thing. PIVX has got a strong community that are a PIVX community. They're doing really cool PIVX stuff all the time. Bitcoin Cash, of course, wants to create its own community as well. Just because you forked the code doesn't mean that your project is somehow dirty. That's true. Although I do worry about some of the upcoming Bitcoin forks, and of some of the Bitcoin forks that have just come out. Obviously, we've seen that the Bitcoin Gold wallet is having problems. I'm so glad I've done nothing with my Bitcoin Gold yet. Bitcoin Diamonds, WTF, why do we need Bitcoin Diamond at all? And of course, the other forks that will be coming. So there are a lot of different things. Lucas Duke says, have a look at SNC. You won't regret it, I promise. Is that Sun Contract, Lucas? I wonder if that's Sun Contract he's talking about. That's one I do want to look at here in the near future. J Bags says, morning Clark. It's Lark. No C. No C. Take the C off, just like the crypto Lark. Unless you want to call it C Lark. Verge is a sleeping giant at this moment. There's a lot of sleeping giants. There's a lot of sleeping giants, guys. And again, it's about choosing the projects you believe in. Jasper, got a jet Lark. Time to go watch the Big Bang Theory. It's coming on, guys. It's coming on. All right, guys. It is time to go and watch the Big Bang Theory, if that's your thing, if that's in your time zone. Or, of course, to go and check out the Cardano roadmap and see just what the exciting news is over there. Thank you so much to tuning in to the show, everybody. An absolute pleasure to have you all here along, as always. Massive thank you to the community. You guys make all of this possible. And I'm going to be putting a link down below here to the Zamzam Water project. If you want to donate some Bitcoin, they are putting wells in Rwanda, building orphanages in Gaza. Really great project. A little bit of Bitcoin can help those guys out a lot. The address will be down below after I edit the video here in a few minutes, okay? So Thank you so much, guys. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time, guys.